Hello, 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 everybody. I am testing out a new program called OBS, and Nat put me on it. I am just getting some practice in, so this will end up being a replay for everybody. And it's just my husband and I testing it out behind the scenes. But I thought I would do mail call, and I thought I would finish out a package of cards that we're going to give to our lovely post lady. So I'm just testing the chat, and I can see already that my side light is in the wrong spot over there because it's blocking the chat. Yay, the chat is just coming through. Thank you very much. But here, let's get started on the mail call. And these were a couple of birthday cards that came in late. So first up, we have Karen. She goes by K and D Murnane. She's from Australia. So this came from Australia, which is why it showed up so much later than the others. And she does wonderful fun folds. So there we are. That is the card from Karen. Absolutely lovely. Just tuck her aside. And then this one is from Gloria. Gloria and I have a birthday that is very close to each other. So I sent her a birthday card. She sent me a birthday card. And now she's sending me a thank you for her birthday card. So now, Gloria, I need to send you another thank you card for the birthday card. I think we're going to be going back and forth on this one. So thank you so much. And she has a really nice little note on the inside, and she's got fabulous, thank you so much for my fabulous birthday card. She's got that in all caps, and I'm just like, think that's so wonderful. And then she says she shows it off to her crafty friends. So thank you, Gloria. That's what it's about, right? That's what it's about. So Gloria goes by @LglowDav on Instagram. And then we have my friend Connie, who's from my original card group that I was ever in. And look at what Connie sent. Oh, so she's got some pattern papers, and she's done some die cuts, and she's lifted them up. But she did do, like, mixing stuff together because she knew I would like that. And she got shiny, shiny, bling, bling on there. And she says, I am doing a great job on my videos. Thank you, Connie. That's very sweet of you, too. Now I owe you a thank you card. And this one is from Melissa. She goes by Miss Missa Makes on Instagram, and she did the Wizard of Oz for me with rainbow colors because my birthday is in the rainbow month, and Wizard of Oz because my birthday is the same as Judy Garland, and I love that movie. It's so great, the old classics. So just it's wonderful with all the speckles that she's got through the background on the ink blend that she did. I love it. And yep, she goes by Miss Missa Makes, as I already said, and really nice little personal note on the inside, so I can't show you that one too. And then this, we've already talked about my wonderful post lady several times, but I had a design team package come in, and on the outside of it, she wrote hi for me the other day. So this is why I'm doing a package of cards for her. She had commented to me that she should send out more cards and stuff. We've all gotten out of the habit other than us card makers, right? And so what I'm doing is I'm finishing off a set. I'm going to put it in one of those plastic packages and box it up, and then I'm going to go hide it in the mailbox for her. So she'll get that when we tuck it in there. So we're going to get these aside, and we'll get started on finishing that set out. Oh, be right back, everybody. Okay, I'm back. So the cards that we already have, a couple of them I had done from before. So we have this one in pink, this one in yellow, this one's in blue, and this one I just did today because I thought, well, I need a 5-pack to send out to her. So this one's in purple, and they are all using this stamp set, which was out of one of the last assignment card making kits that I ever got. It's Graceful Flowers, and it is also using the same embossing folder, which was also in that kit, and it is the Blossom Swag. So we are going to finish off one last card. Each of them have got a sentiment banner over top with twine and with a coordinating ribbon behind, with a little bit of the color that they are for the card base around behind the main die cut, and then that's raised up on a little bit of foam tape so that the twine fits underneath without buckling. So I'm going to tuck these ones out of the way and we will get started on the green one. And I just want to remind everybody that we are doing giveaways now. Once a month I will be pulling out a name from this mail call giveaway. I'm not keeping anybody's address. Once the month is gone, it will be deleted and we'll start a new month. So if you want to go enter it, that's in the description down below. Okay, and this one, so as you can see, I've already got the green base. I used the same cover plate behind for it. I've got the green banner with it stamped. I'm going to finish out the die cut, but what we need to do first off is get this panel ink smooshed, and for this one's sentiment we use the thanks out of the greetings trio from Simon Says Stamp. So I am just going to lay down some green ink, and we will put a couple of the micas just to add a little bit of shimmer. So we'll just tap some in there. Now I'm mixing two of them, Fresh Balsam and Holly Branch, because I didn't have quite the green that I wanted that would match these shades. So I am hoping that this gives us a good mix between the two. Then we're just going to bring the mister over and give it a spritz. And oh, look at that. The chat is working wonderfully. Thank you very much, people behind the scenes. That's my family that's in there. Yay! And my husband. So the purple color, yes, that one is very shimmery when you hold it up to the light. So, okay, we have got this smooshed. I'm just going to put a bit more water down there. And this one, I am using that oval set die cut out from Pink Fresh. It is the rounded and braided rectangles. So I thought for this one I might do a little bit more of a diagonal, but we want that darker stuff to be down at the bottom. So let's just bring it up like that. Okay, so we've got a good base on it. We're going to get our heat embossing gun out, and just one moment. I know that I find that funny. So it's me behind the scenes plugging stuff in and all, but I'm just familiarizing myself with what this program has got for the perks and flipping back and forth between scenes. Okay, so now that we've done the main wash on the background, we want to dry it, because if I put this wet on top of the wet, it's going to blend together and I'm going to lose the effect that I've got through this one. So just excuse me for a moment. We're going to see if the microphone does its noise canceling. All right, so we've got the main base done, and when we come back in with the other layers on top, because this is dry, these splotches hopefully are not going to blend too much into that. We shouldn't lose too much of the definition. So again, we are going on that bit of a diagonal. Okay, and I just need a bit more up at there. All right, and I just want one more swirl. We're going to try to get a big blob down in that bottom corner. So I'm going to hold my 2 fingers behind it, and I'm going to press that part in specifically and see what we get. And I did it on the wrong angle. Oh, this is the joys of ink smooshing. And did it again on the wrong angle, but I should be able to die cut that off. Okay, so for me to be able to correct that, I'm going to lay down some more of the green ink. We're going to give that a good spritz with water, and we want to smear that one corner down on that side. And remember that when we get the die cut out, it's going to take a lot of this off. The reason why I didn't die cut it down first is you tend to not get as good of pattern around the outside edges. And so this way, at least, I would be able to get the portion that I wanted. So we'll just tap in again a bit more. We'll give that a dry. Now, because I'm trying to accentuate this diagonal that we've got happening, I am going to slightly bend the cardstock so that I can hopefully get it more in the middle portion. There, like more like that. And thanks everybody for being patient. Do I ever have the color smear? Yes. If you work with too many colors at once, or if you put a color on top of the others while it's still wet, they can blend together. Typically, it's usually when you're mixing the reds and the greens, and then you end up with mud. So they turn into a brown. Although in autumn, that effect you could really like. Right now, because these mica stains, the holly branch, it's a little bit more of a yellow tone. It's not quite the green that I wanted, which is why I am going back in with a little bit more of this bamboo ink. And this bamboo, I am going to get right at the base there. So there. Want to make that green a little bit brighter. I can actually feel the heat through the card. Now this is Canson XL watercolor, so it is a good thick cardstock because it is watercolor. It's got a heavier weight to it. Oh, well, thank you for saying I make it look so easy. It's definitely been a few years of practice. I still have one of the first sheets I ever did, and oh, it's a mess. So I'm going to let that sit for a moment, and we are going to move on. And just one moment. Sorry about that. I'm continuously doing that. Again, trying to familiarize myself with the program and practicing. And second, I have a really weird heebie-jeebie about ever having my heat gun plugged in while I'm not using it. I know somebody whose basement, they burnt it down because they left their heat gun plugged in all the time, even though it was on a surge bar. And so I just don't do that. I've already been through one fire in my life. I don't need any others, and so that won't be happening. Okay, so we're going to just set this to dry all the way. Now it's pretty good, but you can see that it's warped a little bit, but we'll fix that when we run it through the embossing folder and the die cutting. And right now, I forgot that, of course, I wanted to emboss this one. I want to raise the sentiment portion up from the shadow background. I could just leave it white like it is, but I already have one other one that's just white on its colored background. So I will tuck the green back over there, and we are going to bring in my clean Versamark because we are going on to white. Now, if you're using a glaze or a colored embossing powder, it doesn't matter, but this one, yeah, it needs to be the clean Versamark. So as much as I don't like the feel of this, I am just going to dab that in there. And then we'll tuck this aside. Wash my hands off so that I don't have that feel on my hands. And this is the ultra thick embossing enamel Uti. I love this stuff. It causes the neatest dome effect. And we are going to get out our silicone mat. And I won't give you the be right back this time. But we have a silicone mat that I use to help protect my surface. And very gently move this guy aside. Put your embossing powder back in your jar so that you are not going to blow it all over the place when the heat gun turns on. And, okay, there we go. Now, the reason why I go from below and from above with the Uti is it does end up with a dome-like effect. And I find if you just blow straight down on it, number one, because they're such big, thick, chunky granules, they blow off easier. And number two, it seems to flatten out the doming effect. So if I go at it from below and above, back and forth, it helps it to form that dome. And good. It's dry enough now. And sorry, be right back. Maybe what I need to do is what Kathy Zilski has, where she's got a few where she's, you know, cuts to the die cut cam. I'm like, oh, I'm unplugging the embossing heat gun right now. Okay, so we have got that. It's cool enough for me to touch. Let's glue it down so that we can strap this card together, get it all packaged up for our wonderful post lady. And this is my fine tip glue. I think I've just got Elena's Craft Tacky glue in this. I find the Simon Says Stamp is wonderful glue, but it's too thick for this unless you dilute it with water, and then it ends up with kind of a funky thing where it smears on the inside of the bottle and ends up kind of coagulating. So I don't put that in anymore. And we're just going to line this up. Excuse me if I get my head in the way, because I might need to see where I'm tucking this down. And I'm just, of course, making certain that I have got it so that we've got equal distance on either side and also top to bottom. And once that is, this is also the good thing about glue, because you've got that slight bit of wiggle room. Okay, we're going to put the acrylic block over top, wipe our glue off, and tuck it back to the side. It's so hot in here. We have had a lot of smoke the last couple of days. We have a couple of huge fires that are 45 minutes, 1 hour away from us. And so we've been inside the house, housebound. And It's been hot. The air conditioners are going, and I'm just wondering if it's picking up the sound for those as well. Okay, we're going to tuck this guy over here because we are going to die cut this out, and then we'll run it through the embossing folder. So, die cut machine out. My old Big Shot. Goodness knows how old it is. Someone would be able to tell me the black and pink ones. I did look into getting a new one. It's going to be a couple $100, and I am on a pensioner's fund, so I am just waiting until things are a little bit more flux next year. Now, I was wondering, I'm just grabbing the embossing folder because I had it set at a certain distance, and I just need to find out where I would set it. Okay, so that's why I've got the sides cut down. And no, I need to angle it. There we go. It was like that. Okay, good. You can see I've got a little bit of smudge there from when I did the VersaFine Clair, and that I used with clear embossing powder over top of it so that the rest of it wouldn't smudge. But I need to cut that off. So what I am going to do is just angle that like this, and then it's going to help it as well when it goes through the die cutting machine because it's going to have a point going through first and not the whole edge. If it goes straight in, it's a little bit harder on your gears and your rollers inside. And I like the green that's down at that bottom the best, so I'm going to just move it over a titch. There, okay. It is what it is. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, as Tim Holtz says. Smudges, I think everybody gets smudges. Yeah. Okay, and that is the first portion. Now we are going to pull all this out because we are going to put this in the assignment embossing folder, and we'll just place it somewhere so that we get the wreath of flowers down along the bottom and that it looks good. So orientation on the card like that. Bring it down a little bit more. Okay, I'm not worried about misting it because I can touch the cracked portions up with a little bit of ink after, and I am pretty certain that the berries are going to do that. Now this is a 3D embossing folder, so it's very thick, which is why I had to take out basically all of my plates and the spacer plate and just use the one cutting plate on top. And let's see what we get. There we are. Yeah, we did get a little bit of cracking, but we can cover that up. So let's just tuck this aside. Okay. And we'll get out our mat and the green. And I am just going to rub it across the top. Whoop, that's a little too dark. Why don't we go in with the aloe vera? There we go. Now that kind of worked as well too for accentuating those berries. But we don't need to go too crazy. Okay. The other thing that we want to do is get out one of our water brushes, and I want the flower to have a little bit more green in it. So I'm just going to lay a little bit of ink down, use my water brush, just bring it in like this, and it will hold within those embossed edges because it forms a bit of a ridge. So I'm just going to quickly lay this color down so that I get a good sort of watercolor effect at the same time. And it's just going to give it enough depth, a little bit darker than the color surrounding it, so that the flower will stand out a little bit more. Now on a couple of the others, I got out some of the Lindy's powders and I put around there too. But green is such a delicate color that I didn't want to go too overboard with it. And you can always top it up once it's dry and actually on the card panel. So there, that gives it just enough through there. And the leaves will just go in on one side and accentuate one side with that green. Okay, and rinse out your water brush, give it a squish so that the water comes out, wipe it off, and there you are. Okay, all right, that is done. Don't forget to give that a wipe. Okay, now we can start assembling. So this is going to go down. This will tuck on top and it's going to belly band around it. I also have just some ribbon because the other ones had the ribbon that went across it, and some of them angled, some of them went straight. So we will do the same on this one. And let's see, so we want it right about there. So let's angle this first like that. I'm just going to flip it over, and what I'm going to do is get out just some of my green tape and just use it for tacking it down first, and then when the whole thing gets stuck down, it will hold it in place. So this is just a little bit of painter's tape. It's enough for starting things out, and we'll give that a snippy. Tack that in. If I had Scotch tape handy, I would be using Scotch tape. You would think that I would have that at the ready in a craft room, but I do not. It is with the Christmas supplies right now. I don't feel like digging them out because it's so hot. I know that we're in the middle of Christmas in July, and I kind of cut out a bit on that too because it just seems so hot to be doing Christmas cards right now. I'm not in the mood as much as I have been in past years. I have a couple of done. I've been doing a like Rolling Hills kind of series this year, so it'll be enough to send out for the few that we do. Okay, so we've got the one ribbon down, and then we're going to do the same thing with the twine. We're going to tack it down with a little bit of the green painter's tape. Finishing touches, yes, finishing touches. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it back in the other direction so that it does a crisscross like that. We will cut that end off. Come on. And another little piece of tape. I haven't even tried the other sentiment banner against it. So again, what we get is what we get, and we're not going to throw a fit. It's a very organic way of crafting, right? Now these are still a little bit loose, so you can move them up and down if you want to adjust them a little bit. And this is where I am going to tuck the banner portion over top. Get these where I want them. I already pre-folded this one because I knew that this one was going to go straight across. Some of the others went at an angle. So let's get you in spot. That looks fairly even. Okay. And just for ease, we're just going to use the tape again and a little dab of glue underneath there. Okay, because that will give me the wiggle time, but you can see that it's not holding it super quick. So are we even? That looks pretty good. Okay, and we are going to get the foam tape out. This is the Simon brand, and it's a lot thinner than the Altenews. I like the Altenews as well. I use this pair of scissors for it because they gum up. I have some that are supposed to be the anti-stick, and I don't find that they actually work with the anti-stick. So my least expensive pair of scissors are the ones that we have dedicated doing this to. And what we're going to do is, you see where the twine is? Now, this foam is going to raise it up just enough so that we'll have a channel for that twine to go through. And you can see how much it's already wanting to stick. We'll have to find another spot on this scissors where we're putting it down. And see, I would like this to be turned around the other way so that I could tuck it in that corner and have it work with the curve there. So fix that up a little bit. All right, we're going to put some down along the bottom edge. Same thing, let's angle this corner here. Okay, and now we have the top edge. We'll put a couple in the middle too so that it goes through the mail a little bit better. Now what this is also going to do is going to hold down the portions that we have taped, because you can see the way I'm battling with this, that this stuff is really sticky. Okay, and we're going to see if we can tuck one last one in here, just on either side of those guys. Come on, fit? Yes, you did. Good. And then we'll put one right in the middle. All right, foam tape is done. Tuck that back away. Grab out our tweezers. Let's pull the release paper. Being careful not to pull off the portion that has the ribbon. This is the one time where my longer nails come in handy, and I did file them down because they were getting a little too long and I need to redo them. So not certain what color I'm going for next, but it definitely helps when you're crafting. If you've got really thin nails like I do, the gel polish just acts as a shellac polish and helps to strengthen them up so that I'm not continuously breaking nails. It's like doing a puzzle, absolutely. It's one of the things that I do to help keep my mind younger than it is. Keep it active. It's one of the things that once you retire, you're not conversing with people the way that you normally would. And I'm certain that you guys have all noticed that because I speak so quickly. I have a lot of phonemic paraphasias, which is where you'll put the sound from one word at the beginning of the other. And I don't want it ever turning into one of the other things, which I'm certain we're all aware of, considering one other situation that's going on right now. And so this is one of the other reasons why I YouTube, so that I can keep my mind active and working and always learning, and that will help to stave things off. Now, I put glue down on top of that foam so that I have a little bit of wiggle room. And this is one of the things with me is you will see me just constantly, infinitesimally, just moving it back and forth. But just commit, Jer, put it down. And for the thanks, now you would think that logically I would want it in the center, but I thought it looked a little bit better up above. But what I'll do is I tend to watch my camera monitor, and then I will move it back and forth to see where I like it the best. And see if I can tuck that twine up a little bit more. I think we're going to bring it right there. And it's going to hang off this side a little bit. but that's not going to be a problem because all we have to do is just get a wee piece of foam paper. Oh, I actually already had one from when I cut the end off the other time. Look at that. That was convenient. So I am going to just take a little titch of it, and that portion that's sticking out, we are going to put it over the edge of the T from the thanks. And what that's going to help it do is stabilize it against the card below, because this portion is raised up, remember. So that should fit into spot pretty good. Just release tape off and flip it back over. All right, we're just going to dose her up with glue. I am definitely an over-adheser. I think you've all seen that. I don't trust glue. And I'm going to bring it up a little bit so that I have equidistance on this side, this side, this side, and this side from where the love you statement is. Okay. There we are. All right, and one last step. You thought we were done, but guess what? We shiny, shiny, bling, bling. So let's tuck a little bit of that on, okay? And sometimes I just do that because it helps me not overthink things. I am going to get out my embellishment wand, and I keep it so that white is on the white wax end, and then the gold is on the pointy gold end for moving them around. I just had them in triangle tray, and these are from Pink Fresh. These are the ombre ones that were the Enchanted Forest, but what I did was I used an alcohol marker to color them so that they were green all the way across. And let's just bring these guys around. So we're probably going to want the bigger ones down towards the bottom. How are you going to balance? It's like finding that spot in between where the embossing folder didn't get it, right? And then kind of bring them up in a swoop, mixing the small ones and the medium ones. Turn them all over. And there's a portion of me that's like, oh, I wonder what happened if they actually flipped over onto the other side. Oh, there's a fuzzy there. Fuzzy, be gone. Fuzzy is removed. Okay, now that I didn't like because you see how it's got two that are shooting out like that, and this one's shooting out like that too. I am thinking maybe if I do something more like that, and now it's got more of a line that comes this way, but this still needs to come over a little bit in through there. Is that a bit better? Okay, that'll do. All right, let's get gluing down, and then that's going to be just about it. So I'm not looking where they're falling compared to the ink blotches. Some of them you can tuck underneath too. So we'll just put this one a little bit farther down. This one we'll put in with the splatters that are already there from when we were smooshing. Same with these. We've got a pattern of small spots going up that right-hand side. I think I'm going to bring this guy up a little bit. You want your spacing to be slightly different as you move the pattern up through. And see, that's the one I'm going to sit here and fuss with, so I'll just lay this one down first. and decide where I want to bring that one in. No, I think he did need to go right about there. Okay, that's it. That's the finished card. Sorry that you weren't here for the beginning, but again, this is just a practice session so that I can become familiar with this program and flipping things back around. And we'll bring the other ones in. So this is going to be our set for our post lady with the purple. And then we have the yellow one. We've got the blue one. We've got the pink one. And we've got the green one. And there, oh, we're not in view. See, there's something I'm going to have to watch too, that I have got a different camera view on this program. Okay, so here's the green one with that oval around the outside with the pointy ends and the embossed UT. This is sitting down in the bottom third of the composition, one focal point at the top third up through here, and the pattern with the ink smooshing is laying in the line that helps to accentuate the points that are on the die cut and on the inside. Thank you so very much. You are a gift. And I accentuated the U so that whoever she gives it out to will know the things. Oh, we forgot one thing, everybody. Oh my goodness. Hold on. We forgot one thing. We need to put a custom stamp on the back of this one. Let's get out some carrot. Oh, and of course they're not dry, so I'll have to re-glue that one. And I'm just going to give it a custom stamp quick. There we are. It was one of the big ones. That's why they take a little bit longer to dry. And of course, I'm already flipping this thing around so much. But I will be a little bit more gentle with it. And just hold it like this. I'll get some pictures taken. We'll pop them up on Instagram, update the thumbnail for this live. And I want to thank the fam that came in and helped me out with this. Thanks, guys. Everybody, remember, be that change you want to see in the world. And I will keep practicing so that we can do live sessions. It's been really neat. So thanks again, everybody. We'll catch you all later. Bye now.
I'd be so glad if you guys spread the word so we can get me to 1K. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.